As you know, interactive events can make your 3D designs more dynamic, engaging, and of course, even more fun to explore. This time we'll be focusing on mouse events. By adding these mouse events to your 3D designs, you can create super fun interactions that make your design feel alive, like it actually reacts when someone clicks, presses, or even just hovers over an object. This keeps users engaged, curious, and having a blast exploring every little interaction. Let's start by checking out the different types of mouse events. The mouse up event is triggered when you release the mouse button after pressing it. It doesn't happen when you click, but when you stop holding down the button. In the case of the mouse down event, it is triggered the moment you press a mouse button. For example, if you press a button on the screen, the actions linked to the mouse down event will execute immediately without needing to release the click. There's also the mouse press event that it works when you click and hold down the mouse button. So while you're holding it, actions or animations can start, and when you let go, they might change or reset. Finally, you can also choose the mouse hover event. And this option creates interactions when the cursor moves over an object without needing to click. You can make an effect happen while the cursor is on it, like changing colors, for example. And once you move the cursor away, the action or animation will reverse back to its original state. Now let's explore some simple examples of how we can use these events to create interactions. Let's start by changing the size and rotation of an object when we click on it. First, select the object. Then head over to the right panel and click the plus icon to create a new state. In this new state, you can make changes like adjusting the scale or position. Let's just adjust the size a bit, making it bigger in the second state. We can also tweak other parameters to add more changes or animations in the same interaction. For example, we can also make this object spin by keeping the rotation at 0 in the base state and changing it to 360 in the second state. Next, simply create an event by clicking on the plus icon. Expand the Events drop-down menu, and this is where you can select a mouse event. Let's go with mouse down this time. Now here's where you choose where you want this event to trigger the animation or action. You can select on this object if you want the interaction to happen when clicking a specific object, or you can also choose to trigger it by clicking anywhere in the scene. But for now, let's keep it set to on this object. Then let's select an action to be triggered by this event. There are a bunch of options you can pick from by clicking below, but for now, let's just go with a transition action to smoothly switch the object between different states. Here in Target, let's select the cube because that's where I want the transition to happen. In the mode section, you can choose between once, toggle, or repeat each time. Just click here and you'll be able to choose from these options. Let's keep it set to once for now, and later we'll go through some samples, better understand the differences between them. Here in the transition section, we can define which states the transition will move through. You can also set the duration, plus choose from different transition curves like ease in, out, linear, spring, and more. Simply click here, explore, and pick one of these options. This will help you define acceleration and deceleration at the beginning and end of your animation. Here, you can adjust the delay and loop properties, but let's keep it simple and leave them as they are for now. Now, just click on the play icon to preview our interaction. When we click, the object changes, but it only happens once. That's because we chose the once option in mode. But we can always go back to our event and change this. Let's select toggle this time. With the toggle option, the event will switch between states every time you interact. You can do this using mouse or key events. Now let's make this cube not only rotate and change size, but also change color when clicked. First, select the object and go to the state where you want the color change to happen. To adjust the color, we'll go to the material panel. And if you're using a material asset, don't forget to unlink it by clicking on this icon. That way you can edit the material properties and set a color for each state. Now just click here to change the color. If we click on each state, we can see they have different colors. One is purple and the other is blue. Now we can see how the cube not only changes size and rotation, but also changes color when clicked. Instead of changing the object's color when clicking, hovering, or pressing directly on it, let's try making a color change happen when clicking a button. First, we create a second state for the object with the new color we want. Then we design the buttons using the same colors. We can adjust the height of the buttons so they animate up and down when clicked. Let's start with the blue button. I'll select it and create a mouse down event. Click on transition and set the cube as the target. Let's select the cube and target and set mode to repeat each time so the action repeats with each click. You can use a lower value here, like 0.20, to make the transition faster. This first transition controls the cube's color change. Now let's create a new transition for the button animation, making it move down when clicked. This time we keep the blue button in target and again use repeat each time in mode. Set the first transition to current. You can adjust the speed to 0.10 for a fast effect, and then in the second transition, select state when the shape is stretched downward to create the button press animation when clicked. Let's check it out in play mode. See how clicking the blue button changes the cube's color and makes the button press down? But if we click again, nothing else happens. To adjust that, let's add a mouse up event. I'll select mouse up and keep the blue button as the target with repeat each time as the mode. In transition, I'll set it from current to base state, so the button goes back up after being clicked. Now let's test it. The blue button is fully functional and animated, but hey, we don't need to redo everything for the purple button. Let's just copy and paste the events. Just right-click or hold Control and click on any event, then you can select Copy or Copy All. After that, do the same to paste it onto another object, like our purple button. Adjust the targets to the purple button, and we also need to do this for the mouse down event. And of course, we also need to adjust the cube's color state here. This is because this time we want to make sure it stays in its purple color state. Now, when we click each button, the cube changes to the right color and the button animation kicks in too. You can also make it so that clicking on an object triggers a cool camera movement or a smooth zoom in effect in your scene. For example, I already set up this guitar with a mouse hover event. You can slightly adjust the scale in the second state to create a subtle pop effect. This will make it feel more lively and signal that something will happen when clicked. And then just create a state that you can rename, for example, to Guitar View to make it easier to identify later. And now with this state and the camera selected, you can just move around your scene using Spline's camera controls and adjust the view until find the angle, zoom, and position you want for when the object, in this case the guitar, is clicked. And now we just need to add a mouse down event like before to trigger the camera movement. In the Actions and Transitions panel, just switch the target right here and make sure to select the camera we just created. Set the mode to toggle, and for the transitions, choose base state first, followed by the new guitar view. Before jumping into play mode, go to Export, check the play settings, and disable orbit limits. This prevents any restrictions on camera movement. And basically, that's it. Clicking on the guitar makes the camera smoothly transition to a new position. With this technique, you can create more complex scenes like this product showcase experience that Polaroid added to their website. Another fun and easy interaction you can explore with mouse events is revealing the back of a card. You can achieve this using the mouse down event and adjusting the card's rotation for each state. And of course, you can always add extra movements to make it feel even more dynamic and engaging. And here's a little extra touch to bring your interactions to life, adding sound effects. You can set it up so that when users click, a different sound plays, just like in this scene. After adding your mouse event, simply click this plus icon to add a new action. Then select Sound. From there, you can customize it in different ways. Click on the 4 dots icon to access the sound effects library, where you can choose from various options. You can type here to search for a sound. And this one sounds good. Just click to select it, and that's it. Now, if we go into play mode, we'll hear the sound when clicking. Or if you prefer, you can simply upload your own audio files. You can also create playful effects and interactions using the Create Object action. For example, if you combine it with the mouse down event, objects can appear when you click. You can also use other events to trigger them. In a future tutorial, we'll explore more examples to make the most of the Create Object action. And if you ever want something like opening a web page when clicking a button, you can easily do that too. Just add the Open Link action to your object, then customize it. Simply paste the URL you want to link to and choose how it will open: current tab, new tab, or new window. There are so many fun possibilities you can explore with mouse events. They also work on touchscreens and mobile devices, so you can easily integrate them into your app designs for Android and iOS. Well, we hope you enjoyed this introduction to mouse events and found it helpful. There are tons of ways to use mouse events, and we've dropped some tutorials in the description if you want to learn more, just in case you haven't checked them out yet. Let us know what other events and interactions you'd like to learn about. We can explore more on how to create scroll animations, have some fun with game controls, physics and collisions, drag and drop interactions, and much more. Just let us know what you'd like to learn, and see you soon for another tutorial. Bye-bye.